This one hurts. The Hellboy movies, especially the first one, hold a special place in my heart. My wife often tells me how underrated she thinks the character is, and I unfortunately agree. After the first two movies, it took a long time to get a new one, and when the 2019 Hellboy came out, the reactions were mixed. Personally, I enjoyed it. The makeup though was a bit off-putting for me. Still, it was a solid Hellboy movie that clearly aimed for more sequels, which never happened. Now, seemingly out of nowhere, we have Hellboy and the Crooked Man set to release in Portugal, my country, on August 29. It's based on the original comic by Mike Mignola and promises to take the character in a darker, scarier direction. The film is directed by the same person who did Crank and Crank 2, which seems promising, but he also directed Ghost Rider Spirit of Vengeance. I was about to completely destroy English and say this word in the worst way possible, and that's where my optimism faded. Anyway, I wanna reinforce that this video might contain some spoilers, I don't know. So if you wanna wait for its release, go watch it and come back once you have your opinion on it. You've been warned. So, after watching this movie, is it a good contender? No. This movie is a mess. I gave it 3 stars on Letterboxd for the great ideas it brings to the table. The folk horror elements were the standout, and honestly the actor who played Hellboy did a fantastic job. I also loved the makeup. It felt natural and practical. I have a feeling people will bash the actor, and if he returns in a better project, they'll likely judge him based on this film. But the truth is, he gave a great performance as Hellboy in a bad movie, and actors gotta work with the script given to them. From the one-liners to his reactions in different scenes, I think he did his best. When I say it's a bad movie, keep in mind there's a lot to like here, but these elements are never fully realized and are overshadowed by poor execution. Starting with the cinematography, there are some great shots, but the editing is terrible, especially in the lighting and fight scenes. There's also a recurring blurry and shaky effect that serves no purpose, along with obnoxiously loud sounds that didn't bring any tension and were very distracting. The CGI looks cheap, which makes sense given the smaller budget, but that's exactly why I'm being more critical here. With limited resources, you can't afford to rely on CGI or blurry shots just for the sake of high production value. This movie could have been much better if the CGI budget had been used to improve some action sequences. For example, the church fight scene with the zombies, which is actually my favorite part of this movie. A longer, more seamless fight would have been great. I wouldn't mind if the rest of the film was dialogue driven, as long as Hellboy had better lines and the action was more rewarding. The movie could have been a lot stronger if all the build-ups had better payoffs. The story itself is great, but the storytelling fell short. The structure and pacing don't work in this film's favor. Just when it feels like it's building up to an exciting moment, it cuts to a slow scene, disrupting the flow. This doesn't work because the writing is repetitive across scenes. You keep waiting for Hellboy to kick some ass and everything feels segmented and fabricated. Secondary characters have so much potential, but they are put in the dumbest situations, and in the end nothing feels like it has a reason or any sense of urgency. I've seen people say this is better than the 2019 movie, and I understand why they might think that. However, I respectfully disagree. This film aimed for high production scenes instead of focusing on a smaller, more grounded story as it intended to be. As said before, the key would have been giving Hellboy better dialogue and improving the fight scenes, rather than wasting money on unnecessary CGI and blurry visuals. In this way, having a simple, small budget film focused on good storytelling. If you see Hellboy in the upcoming weeks, please let me know your opinion. Also, if you found my channel and you like what I do here, consider subscribing, and we'll see each other in the next video. See ya!